Hi guys, welcome to another session on Protector. My name is Karanveer Singh. So let's have a quick recap of what we did in the last video. So guys, in the last video, we configured a framework according to POM, also known as Page Object Model, and we also understood the functions like click and send keys. So let's have a look at the topics that we are going to cover in this video. So guys, in this video, we are going to understand action class and we are going to understand element.all keyword. Right, let's move on to the Visual Studio. This is the Visual Studio code, right? And this is what we did in the last video. We had clicked on the login button, we had entered the username there, and we had waited, right? We had waited to see the output of the result. Right, so now I'll just show you Amazon side, right? So guys, in the last video, we had clicked here, we did this, we clicked here, we entered the email address. That's all we did in the last video. So guys, if you see on this button, if I hover on this, right, there are few more options which are available. There are few more things which are available. But in order to access these options, I need to hover on this, right? Click won't work here. I need to hover. If I click, then I'm navigated to the login page. So I just need to hover on this. So guys, let's see how we can hover, right? Let's understand how we can perform actions from mouse, which are like hover, drag and drop. So let me just quickly move to Visual Studio Code. And if you remember, we clicked here, right? So in this video, right, guys, we'll understand action class. So first I'll write await, then I'll write browser. And if you see, I get the first thing is the action class. So what is this actions? It says create a new action sequence using this driver. This sequence will not be executed for execution until perform is called, right? And there are few examples. So let's use this class. This is a function, sorry. And I do this, right? As soon as I click, as soon as I enter a dot, you can see it gives me further suggestions with the functions that I can do. That is, I can even click, I can double click, I can do drag and drop. So maybe if I want to drag and drop something, right? If I want to select something from one location and drop it to somewhere else. So this is what I can use function, right? Drag and drop. Then we have key down, we have key up, mouse down. So here you see we have mouse move. So it says, if we read the definition, moves the mouse. The location to move to may be specified in terms of mouse current location and offset relative to top left corner of an element. So basically it is telling us what all inputs it can take. Either it can take the location, which is in an XY offset, or it can take the name of the element, like web element. It can also take a web element, right? So guys, as you remember, right, we have to move our mouse here. We just need to perform the hover action. So in Protector, basically mouse move is an hover action. So okay, I'll just select mouse move, right? And now mouse move, what are the parameters that mouse move takes in is location or web element. So we need to mouse move on this, right? So what I'll do is I'll just do this. Okay, I'm sorry. We need to do this, right? Because we need to tell where this element is, right? And let me just do this. So now let me just run this file and let's see what happens, right? So I'll just quickly write npm run cucumber test and I'll just verify that it is login page with an L capital and a P capital. So let's execute this and let's see what do we get as an outcome. Does it perform the mouse move action? Ideally it should not, but then let's still see. So if you see it did not perform the action, why? Because action class says you need to add perform, right? It says the sequence will not be scheduled for execution until action.action sequence perform is called. So we need to call here perform, right? And most likely if we just scroll this and if we just go through the, right, so it says it could not find the ID email address, right? So it could not find the next ID, but that's not required because the first action was incomplete. So now let's try. The script might still fail, but then the outcome that we are waiting for is a mouse move or a hover. So I've executed the script again. Let's just wait. Okay, so the Chrome has just opened. We are just waiting for Amazon to open. Okay. And you see, did you see? It got mouse moved. So if you want to say it for a bit longer, what we can do is we can copy this await and we can paste it here. And I'll just run it once again. Okay, so the Chrome has opened. The URL has been navigated. And now let's see. See, the hover action has been performed. Now we are waiting for 3 seconds and then it is failing because it is searching for the next item, right? It is searching for send keys, which is not available because we are not clicking on login. So this is why the script is failing. So guys, this is how we can use the action class, right? This is how we can perform any mouse action, maybe drag and drop, maybe just a hover action. So this is the action class, which this function, which will help us see. It's a method that will help us to perform all the actions which a mouse can perform, right? So guys, if you remember in the last video, in the video where we had understood the locators, if you've not gone through that video, I'll be sharing the link in the description. You can go through that, but we are just trying to cover one more topic, which is just a part of those locators. Guys, if you remember, we in that video had created the XPath for this, right? So let me just quickly do that once again. I'll say @class is equals to, and we are going to use landscape image, right? And now this whole is under an image tag, right? So yep. So now as soon as I do this, you see we get 62 similar items, right? And if I press enter, you will see that we are navigated to next item each time I press an enter. So I'll press it again. You see we have television, now refrigerator, now COVID-19 donation, then we have mobile recharge. So guys, there can be a situation where you have multiple results and you want to perform some actions on all of them, right? You want to perform some actions in all of them. Let's say you want to confirm whether this element is present there or not, or you want to just verify whether washing machine is present there or not. So guys, in Protactor, there is one more thing. Let me just quickly open a PO file. PO file is the file where we have all the, we can say, XPaths or the locators stored. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly copy this. And if you remember, we had created a locator named as dishwasher, and I'll just paste it here, right? So guys, if you remember, the property, the element has to be unique, but just in case it is not unique, right? And let's say I want to navigate to any specific one. Let's say I want to navigate to the last one. Then Protactor has a property which is .all. See, .all. What I can do is by this I am selecting all the elements which are or which can be identified with this XPath. So currently we have 62 elements which can be identified with this same XPath. So that means I have selected all the 62 elements. Now either in the function I can use a loop to iterate all of them, or if I want to specifically perform some action, so you can see I can get the count. What is the count, whether they are 62 or not. I can perform each function. So see, calls the input function of each element finder. So what we can do is with each we can perform something on all these elements. Then we have, let's say, first I want to perform a specific action on just the first element. So what it does is gets the first matching element for the element finder array, right? Similarly, we would have last, you can see. So what I can do is I can call this function and I can do anything on the last element which is found. That is the 62nd element, right? If you remember, 62nd element, if I want to perform something on it, I can do this. Or if I want to perform on all of them, I can do for each, right? I can use this each to perform some action. So guys, this is one more property, which is .all for any XPath through which you can identify multiple elements, right? So this is all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was short and crisp. Thank you so much.